People, deluded, I'm back again. Good good afternoon, basically. Well, it's noon time, Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on whoever you are, wherever you are. I hope you're all in good spirits. I know a lot of you, if you're Arsenal fans, will be frustrated about the result yesterday, but at the end of the day, there's more important things to life than football. Football is everything to me, but we've all woken up today, which is a blessing. There's always tomorrow. The world keeps spinning. So we'll deal with the Benfica game when it has to come. But we've all got our lives. We've all got the chance to better our lives and better ourselves, which many people in this current climate can't. So I hope you're all well and safe away from the footballing point of view. I hope you're all in good spirits. I hope you're all just, progressing and you can look back on Friday today saying, yes, I'm closer towards reaching my goals than I was last year. Pardon me. Big up everybody locked in. Please make sure you're hitting those like buttons early doors. Bro, my guy, 2 dislikes. I believe I saw that, I don't pay attention in it because like somebody said, likes and dislikes, it all drives the engagement in it. But I'm like, you lot are some haters, man. Like, I ain't even started speaking, man. Just don't like, man. We move anyways, man. It can be two. We know the haters are minority, and regardless of whatever my likes say by the end of this live stream, I can not that you can guarantee anything in life, my guy, but I can guarantee you guys are gonna pattern that, and they're just gonna look like two clowns. If by all means dislike my content, but that's some hating business because I ain't even spoken yet. It is what it is. But we're still out here. We keep progressing. We keep maintaining. First and foremost, we keep remaining consistent. They can't stop me, people. In fact, we've got 18 likes. So those two people there, they look like idiots already, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Let's keep that one there going, people. So yeah. Where do you lot want to start? Do you lot want to start with Manchester City or do you want to start with Benfica? We'll get into it in a second, people. Two clowns, it is what it is, man. Big up yourself all the way from Paris. To be fair, I don't really see too many French fans, considering France is just round the corner from England. Nonetheless, my guy, I appreciate that, man. I hope you have a nice day, and I really appreciate that you're a fan of my content and my content provides some sort of value to you lot in some capacity, man. Big up yourself, live from Planet X, holding it down for the Australian ones. As I always say, I always appreciate you as well because it's stupid o'clock round them sides. I've got the world clock on my iPhone. Let me actually see what time it is in Australia. It's 11 o'clock. Mad thing, the day's done. I respect you, man, but go get some sleep, my guy. In Auckland, it's 1 in the morning. Them Toronto guys is 7 in the morning. So I really appreciate the foreign fans that tune into my thing, man. I really appreciate it because it's ridiculous the time zone. Farhan has said, "Yo, big up, man. I know how hard it is to be consistent. Keep it up. It's very hard, but anything worth doing in life, it's always going to be difficult, man. And I have to be consistent. I have to be tenacious. I have to be aggressive in my approach if I want to get anywhere in this world. And I think everybody does. Like, I'm the sort of man, I'm very stubborn in it. I don't like to I've always felt like this from a young age, if it makes sense. I always feel you should be able to live the life you want. It doesn't matter where you're born, if you're born into riches or poverties, regardless of the script that life has written for you. You always want to do something different. And there could be 1,000 reasons for me not to do something. I'll still go out and try it. I think my biggest gift and curse, much like Arsene Wenger, is my stubbornness. Maybe it will, maybe, it won't get me anywhere. Maybe it will benefit. Only time will tell, but we keep progressing, 5 a.m. out there. So you're based in America or somewhere like that. I appreciate you lot. Twitch gang, you're always appreciated, man. Thank you for tuning in via Twitch, Nobi. Apologies for mispronunciation, but please make sure you run up the Apologies for that one there, people. You know, my my PC decided it wanted to do a random update and update. You know, apologies, people. You know, I really appreciate you lot that have tuned in. I see there's been a slight drop off. Apologies for those technical difficulties. You know, I don't know why my laptop did that, because I've personally set the settings to say don't update unless you want to update, but it's automatically done it. So we move. I apologize, and in fact, for those who don't know, one of my lights is actually connected via my laptop, people, and I actually have to turn it back on, because I'm sure you lot can see, as you can see, no matter how much you prepare, a madness happens in it, people. But we move, man. Like I said, apologies for that. I appreciate you lot there. A man said making excuses for his KFC Wi-Fi. F1, I like you. Don't let me draw you out, but I'm actually connected via the Ethernet, man. You know, if you've got a better connection, come invest into the thing, my guy, man. It's easy to chat shit. It's difficult to put your money where your mouth is. Invest in the thing, and we might not do that. Come be Chelsea, my guy. Be my Chelsea. But we move, people. Like I said, apologize, man, for that. Bro, the universe will always try and cock block you, but you have to react, man. You know, you can have a game plan. Something happens and you're a bit difficult. It's something difficulties presented. But yeah, man, I was taking in what you lot are saying. JT, big up yourself. I'm there, my guy. I hope you're all in good spirits. What has River Wild said? He has said, was left frustrated last night, but I think I'm recovering. We go again. Maybe that's the whiskey filtering out of your system, my guy. But I would say, you know, it's like life, innit? Football brings those primary emotions. Obviously, you're angry, you're annoyed about the result, and then acceptance comes into it. You're at the stage where you've accepted it and trying to move forward. You can't go back in time, which is a gift and a curse depending on how you look at it, man. Hector said, DG putting in hard work, appreciate you. I appreciate you as well, man. I really appreciate that as well, man. Who is this, my guy? I was suddenly out of the squad and I didn't know why. I went to speak to the manager and he said, you've got to train harder. So I thought, that's what I had to do. Nothing seemed to work and nothing was explained to me. Oh, it's Tomori. My thoughts on that. That's a common thing, my guy. You know, sometimes you're training and that's the worst thing as a footballer. Like for me, if I'm a footballer, I appreciate honesty. You know, I would love to see where I'm at with a manager. If a manager tells me I'm not levels and I'm not in his thinking, fair play. You know, it's down to me to either leave and go somewhere where I can play under a manager who will utilize me, or to try and prove man wrong. But when your manager is saying one thing one week and the next thing the other week, which I'm pretty sure without knowing anything that Lampard was probably doing to Tomori, it's upsetting, because first and foremost, you want to play football. Second of all, I'm sure like everyone, he wants to play for England and advance his career. When you don't know where you stand with a manager, that's the difficulty. So again, it is very difficult. The worst thing is for me, I'd say training, knowing you have no real chance of playing and you're not really understood why. So that's all I can say in relation to that, man. Young Mizzy said, I hope you man get moved to by City this weekend. Amen. Young Mizzy, I thought you rocked with me. Why do you want me to be stressed? We probably are going to get knocked the stuffing out of. We're probably going to get knocked for 6 spells, really and truly, man. We're down inside the first 30 seconds if that's a boxing match. Saying that, nobody gives us a chance, myself included. The boys should believe they can. What I will say before we get into the Manchester City preview, play the occasion, not the team. You know, don't sit there and respect City and think, oh my God, Pep Guardiola's side, they're 10 points clear, they're this, that, and the other. Play the occasion. It's easier said than done, but Manchester City do present you with issues, with chances, and you can cause issues depending on how you take them, sort of thing. It's down to you beyond that. You know, like you saw, Everton got a chance. It was 1-1 in that game at a time. Spurs, before City really and truly, you know, presented problems to them, I feel there was a couple of chances. Manchester City will give you opportunities. You have to take them. And Arsenal, we're not going to get too many opportunities. And we haven't really been anything close to clinical, really and truly. So it's going to be a mad thing for us. So we'll have to see. A man said DG just took a dab. Allow me, man. I like it. But the jokes have to fly. I get it. What have you said, man? What's up, DG? 7 a.m. over here in Atlanta. Still up to watch this stream. I appreciate the commitment levels, my guy, but get some sleep or, you know, eat some breakfast. It's going to be here, you know, when you're finished. It really will, man. Ollie, I appreciate that. Don't appreciate you coming into my Instagram messages telling me I look ill or something, but fair play. Move on. Well, I think we're gonna get into the nitty and gritty of it in a second, people. But let me see what else you lot are saying. F1 Lowry, man. What has Liam Evans said? He said, last night was no surprise at all. We know we need better players and who the frauds are. I hear that, but I don't even think it's a case of needing better players for yesterday. The boys were out there. We just didn't do enough, really and truly. Bro, I thought Pepe looked on it in the small minutes he had. He has to start versus Man City with Lacazette, rest SmithRowe the next game, and Saka. I think with Saka, we might just have to play him through it. SmithRowe, I definitely agree, man. And I did think they were a bit tired, but at the same time, you know, you played on the Sunday, you played on the Thursday, and you did look a bit tired. But how much you had significant rest, and really and truly, it should have been done. We only really looked tired in the second half, evidently, man. So it is what it is in that regard. Whatever you said, big up yourself, my guy. Aubameyang cost you the game, bro. Big up yourself, King. I agree on one hand, you know, Aubameyang obviously missed that chance, and if he scores it's a different game, but at the same time I would say no, because even before that, did we create enough to score? We're going into half time, one shot on target. So I agree, he has to hold his hands up. It is a thing that could have changed the game, but we never win alone, we never lose alone. You know, I have to sit there and say, can every player sit there and ask, have they done enough? That's what they need to ask themselves, really and truly. Man said I look stressed. Come on, man. Am I not allowed to take a picture? Stop, sit down and watching other man's face as well. That's a bit of a funny man thing as well. What have man said? Our fixture list is about as booky as my username, man. You know already your username's a bit dodgy. Man can't even give you a nickname there, you know. That one there is a bit mad. But yeah, whatever, man. And I agree with that, Kai, man. You know, stop accepting defeat. Me, I think we're going to lose. But I want us, you know, there's a million reasons for us to lose. A million reasons as to why Arsenal are not going to get a result. But we need to think of that one reason why we can. For me, it's all about the credibility in the performance. You know, on the best of days, we've been defeating ourselves with all due respect to Arsenal. You know, too many times, you know, you can praise teams, you can praise Benfica for their tactical setup, you can praise Aston Villa over the both games, you can praise Wolves over those both games. They're the ones that come to my head, and Leicester at home. You know, they all did well in those games, but you know, we engineered our own mistakes by gifting them goals. None of them teams went there and said, all right, boy, there was a lovely bit of individual brilliance, fair play. Too often than not, we don't sit there and go, because that's the only time I'm willing to hold my hands up. If we fight against Manchester City for 90 minutes, the ball goes to Sterling, Bernardo, Mahrez, all of them sort of wavy players that they've paid top money for, and they dance past a couple of players and bend it in top bins, you know. I can't say anything. That's individual brilliance. But too often than not, we're shooting ourselves in the foot through several reasons, you know, not switching on, not starting games. Well, you know all the issues. I'm not going to say them. But that's what I agree with. I don't want to just accept defeat. That's what I meant, my guy, when I just said play the occasion, not the team. Football isn't won on paper. Don't go out there and respect City ridiculously. Obviously, think about the threat that they have. Think about their better players. They are better players than us. We're probably going to, you know, be the low block team, the team that has to remain penned in, but we can't just accept defeat. And that's what I had a tough time with, especially when we played Liverpool all those months back. And man was sitting there and saying, oh, we only lost this and that. But we were defeated from the first moment, really and truly. So yeah, man, big up yourself, AM, as well. You're always consistent in the comments and whatnot. So yeah, we might as well just start with the Manchester City preview, really and truly. Admittedly, now, that's the tactical outlook for Man City, is it? Wait, we've got that's Man City. Man City. What? Oh, it shagged me. Because my laptop you lot are going to have to give me a second, people, to pattern this up as well. Because it reset my laptop, I had 4 different scenarios here. These were meant to be Benfica, and these were meant to be Manchester City, but I think it still technically is City. Now, when I think of Manchester City, people, you know, when I think of Manchester City, this is all I see in my head. I see us remaining being penned in our own half for large periods of the game and having to counteract that. Now, can we, you know, we know what we're going to get with Manchester City. We know they're a very good technical team. We know their movement on and off the ball is different. Gravy. We know literally that whole 11 can present a goal. We know their movement is quality. They sit top. 10 points clear. We know, listen, I don't need to bore you lot from a tactical point of view. You know, City, as expected, you know, if the game goes the way many people expect, you know, City are going to remain, you know, be on the front foot. We're going to have to be penned in. And as you could see, people, our back 4 is penned in here. You've got Bellerin, and I assume what would be Cedric. You know, you'd have hopefully Pepe and probably Bukayo Saka are 3 men in midfield, and either Aubameyang and Lacazette. Now, you already know what you're going to get, really and truly. You know, arguably Man City will press as a 4, really and truly, and you'll see something more along the lines of that. So what we do on the ball is more important, is very important. We know they press very well, people. They press in waves. We know you're going to see Cancelo go from fullback into midfield. And remember what happened the last time we played against them people. You know, whether they play with a number 9 or not is kind of irrelevant because they still have problems to present us people. We've seen them play well with Gundogan, with, you know, Sterling down the flanks, you know, Foden's on the right. They'll get into these half spaces and exploit us. And again, if plays down there, watch the runners. How many times have you seen a Man City man or anyone in general get caught in between our centre halves? That scares me, but it's also something you lot might not see. Let's say players developing down there. Let's just say Cancelo has played it to my man who's onside. Boom. My man's beginning to make the run. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all ball watching. And obviously my man's in between. But it's this guy who scares me because the midfield runners, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoever, switch on because he might go for the header. And he might read that and the ball comes into the box, people, and it might just whistle clear, but this midfield runner isn't picked up and he's got a goal. How many players at Man City get goals just by simply making a run, people? We have done well against Manchester City in a cup final. So in that regards, we could present something, especially on the counter-attack. If they play a high line and let's just say this is Aubameyang because he's playing through the middle, then there's issues to cause, people. There really is issues to cause in that regards, people. So when I think of Manchester City, I expect to remain pending. I expect to be playing on the low block. I expect, you know, to be the second best team. But saying that, they present you issues. Try and build moves, you know. Be sensible in possession. Be brave in possession. Do not just sit there and respect this team because they will pick you apart. 9 times out of 10, when City have dropped points, it's because the opposition has believed. Look at Leeds. You know, Leeds had Pep Guardiola begging for a point. Now, we can't press to the way of Leeds, and Bielsa's a tactical legend, but you get the point, people. Give that, you know, if you believe in yourself, half the job is done, people. Whatever you said, AM, I would go 3 at their back. Personally, I wouldn't. I hear the logic, but I wouldn't. You know, I think this is a game. Let's just go out there and try a thing, man. Forget all of that. And our boys, our players are weird. They're not switched on tactically. It's like, you know, they can play 3 at the back, but they're not, you know, it's a thing where if we switch to 3 at the back at City, these guys will still be playing like a 4. Or many times we've played with a 3 at the back and we've gone to a 4. They're still playing like it's a 3. So I wouldn't really experiment in that regards too tough yet, my guy. But I hear that there is logic, you know. Let's just try and get a little draw and live to fight another day and whatnot. Pep, come on, man. Pep, allow Arteta, man. I know you got a 10-point lead, but what's the difference between 10 and 7? So yeah, I would probably go with a 4-2-3-1 personally, people. We'll get into it. I'll get into the personnel and those sort of things soon, people, but that's what I would go with. You know what you're going to get with Man City. I've just showed you their lineup, so let's remain pending and let's switch on, people. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to bore you lot with any tactical things. We know they can present a goal from anywhere. We know even their keeper, again, not to scale, but we like to play a high line. We love to play a high line. And what did we see with Davinson Sanchez with that ball for Gundogan, you know? Obviously, Davinson Sanchez got ripped a new one, but who created that? You know, Ederson fancies himself as a midfielder. We know they're a good team anyways, and their boys are in form, people. You know, you've got John Stones, Diaz, all of these guys playing well. What I want to see first and foremost is credible in the performance, believe in yourself, you know. If we have to lose, don't lose by no cricket-like score. If we have to lose, let's sit there and say, all right, boy, that was a lovely bit of individual brilliance. Don't do what always happens where we're caught cold, we're switching off, you know. And what I hate is I'm not happy to say we've played good for 10 minutes. We was doing well until this, until that. I feel that's a problem with Arsenal fans. They fail to understand football is a game for 90 minutes. We'll focus on being in the game for 10 minutes and say, well, if this happened and that happened, we'd be something else. Who knows? You know, Stylish You is saying 80 man are in the live and there's 44 likes. Come on, people, man. Get that up, man. There's a couple of you being lazy. So we know what to expect. And like Donny is saying here, you know, you've got Sergio, you've got Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan's allegedly going to be fit. Foden, Sterling loves to score against us on the worst of days, as does Foden. You know, a bunch of their players are in form and finding form at the right time. Collectively, they're doing their thing. There isn't anything else to speak about in a tactical point of view or from a tactical point of view. There's nothing worthwhile, really. And truly, people. And if you look at it, you know, like I said, there's a million reasons as to why we'll lose this game. But I want these boys to focus on the one. We've got injuries. We've got games coming thick and fast. We've got tired players. These things are things that happen in the season. It's time to stand up to be counted, man. You know, it's as simple as that. You know, these are the times you lot talk about wanting to win leagues and playing the Champions League and stuff. These are the tough that comes with it. You know, if I was one of these footballers, You know, these are the moments I want to play. I want to play against Benfica twice. I want to play against Man City. I want to see if we can do something. You know, the statistics aren't pretty. Like we already know, they're improving. You know, we've improved defensively, but they're better than us defensively. They score a lot of goals. Pep, not that he's ever lost respect, but he's reminding people who Pep Guardiola is. And you've got individual players shining. And, you know, these are the players that scare me the most beyond the others. I know there's Kevin and the rest of it and Edison, but Cancelo, you know, that fullback / midfield hybrid job he did last time we played them. Phil Foden loves to score against us and do jobs. Gundogan's found some form. Raheem Sterling in wide areas. Bernardo Silva's on crud. And they've got a bunch of other players. They're 10 points clear in this in the table, people. I'm sure they want to win, considering it's a Merseyside derby. Everton versus Liverpool, both of those teams have been in recent weeks dropping points. So, you know, if Everton and Carlo Ancelotti can do them a favour further, not that Liverpool are the only contenders for the title, if you could say that, it is what it is. Who have Man United got on the weekend as well? So I'm sure City want to do business as usual. Pardon me. As you can see here, Arsenal have failed to beat Manchester City in any of our last 10 league games. The Gunners have only had 3 worst runs against an opponent without a win in their history. Bro, again, against Liverpool, we kind of struggled. You know, these 2 times never happened in my lifetime, though. So again, we, on a regular basis, we get bullied against Manchester City. They normally score at least 2 goals minimum when they buck us. It's a crazy one. Don't think this is of any relevance, people. I don't have the statistics to hand, but I can find them as well. Those of you that want to see more Manchester City stats will hear about them, people. As you lot know, Arsenal have lost their last 7 league meetings against Manchester City. The Gunners have only ever lost more consecutively against Leeds, which was from 1973 to 1976. You know, so there's a bunch of reasons as to why we can't win this game, you know. But what I will say is that run has to stop sooner. You know, surely that run has to stop one day. It has to, you know. In the same way, Southampton, Wolves, and Leicester came at the Emirates and got something decent. In fact, not Southampton, the other 2. It's got to stop sometime, people. You know, well, City are unbeaten in our last 10 games against us since they lost in 2015. They've scored at least twice in 9 of these games, people. Arsenal have failed to score in their last 3 league games against Man City. So we failed to score. You know, we've been you know, toothless up front. We've been shipping goals. We've just been getting bullied and battered. This is just easy 3 points. You know, I don't think Pep Guardiola is urging any complacency, but these are the games you have to stand up to be counted. We already know we lost 4-1 earlier in the League Cup at a time where we had to rest players at that time. Ironically, we might have to do it again. Arsenal have won just 3 of their last 18 Premier League games, people, against the side starting the day on top, on starting the day in top spot, people. We've lost 11, drawn 4, and won only 3. The last time we won was against Liverpool in July 2020, people. So yeah, obviously we beat Man City, we beat Manchester City in the FA Cup, so it can be done. It really can be done, people. All I want to see, if we have pride in the performance, if we don't let ourselves down, we have half a chance. You know, if you turning up is half the battle. Bring your heads to this is a psychological game. This is a thinking man's game. Pep plays football like chess. You see it with the movement. You see it with the traps they set. You see it with their players. Don't fall into it. So first things first, bring the right mindset to this game. Be scared. Don't be scared to make mistakes, but at the same time, be fearful to let your teammates down. If everybody's scared to let themselves down and let their fellow man down, whether that's centre halves with fellow centre halves, fullbacks with centre halves, keeper with the rest of the defense, strikers with the rest of the team, the midfield. If everybody takes accountability, we have half a chance. If everybody stands up to be counted, we have half a chance. The time for chatting is gone. You know, I've seen plenty of lip service in going into that Benfica game. There's still 90 minutes to go. We've got an away goal. It weren't the result we wanted. So again, there's a million reasons as to why Arsenal won't be on this team, but we need to focus, or they need to focus on the one reason they don't. Reality is the world doesn't care. The world doesn't care that Arsenal have had injuries. The world doesn't care how good or bad our season has. The world doesn't care that we've got Benfica. The world doesn't care where we are in the league. The world doesn't care that Man City, you know, should rest players and give us a blight. It doesn't care. You need to go and win. If you want to get a positive season, you have to go into tough moments. And 9 times out of 10, with the exception of getting 4 points off United, you ain't really gone into these games and offered anything really and truly. You know, you've beat Leeds, but we ain't really done nothing. So once again, you know, Cancelo, that hybrid role. When I think of Manchester City, I think of off the ball runners and movement. They can create a goal all around the pitch. Their front 3/4 when the midfielder joins is very aggressive. They do give you chances. Take them. They're not exactly the greatest defensive side. They're the best in the league at that, but they give you opportunities. Take them. Complicate the game. Play the occasion. Like I said as well, credibility of performance is the main thing for me. That's the main thing. If we lose, it's how you lose. I don't want to lose, but it's how you lose. If it's them typical Arsenal ones where we're getting rubbed out and all of you lot will be flocking to my show and the rest of the Arsenal fans to laugh at us, then it's not a thing. Like I said, don't disgrace yourself for the fans. Simple as that. I don't need to bore you lot. We know where we are in the league table, 10th, or something like that. We know they're first. We know what it is. I don't need to bore you lot. The very fact of that you failed to beat Manchester City in 10 games, that's enough motivation for me, because that means I'm a joke, man. If I'm part of the Arsenal team, that means I'm a joke, man. That means City don't rate, man, sort of thing. This is what I need to see. The talking is done. I know the likes of Saka, even Saka on a bad day, Saka, Tierney, Partey if fit, Gabriel, these sort of men are going to stand up to be counted. But I need the whole 11. So that's all I've got to say in relation to that, people. We already know the ramifications, people. If we try something else, big up Curtis for this idea as well. The last thing is the lineup. Now, I know rotation is a key thing. So if we start with the lineup now, people, this would be my lineup for the Manchester City game. I know we've got the Europa League to think about, but I think everyone would agree Leno picks himself in goal, clearly. Left back, Tierney got little couple minutes and stuff like that off the bench, and he looked good. Personally, if Tierney's fit, Tierney plays for me. Personally, I'd rather Cedric, even against Benfica, Cedric did more than Bellerin, but Bellerin's a favourite. I just think Cedric is the better fit right now. Obviously Bellerin and Saka have had more time to work as a partnership, so it probably will be Bellerin who gets the nod because it's a bit of favoritism, but it'll be Cedric for me. Personally, my centre halves, do you know what? I'm not really fussed about the centre half who plays with Gabriel, but for me, it's a Gabriel thing. What? Why is he not coming out with Gabriel? What's Gabriel's full name, people? I swear he's got one of the mad ones with the M and that. It's not bringing up Gabriel's name. That's it. Sorry, people, man. I don't know why it's not bringing up his name. And ironically, it's so funny that I've typed in Gabriel because apparently Gabriel is talking about the thing, people. He's claimed that football in France is more physical than in England. Fair play. But he said from the kit man to the centre forward, I saw this earlier, Man City are dangerous. And that is, everybody at Manchester City is a problem. They create goals all over the team. I'm not going to waste any more time. If you watch football, you know what City are on at this moment in time. Obviously, a bit of technical difficulties finding Gabriel. I don't think they rate Gabriel still. Well, go on for Gabriel, fam. Well, go on for Gabriel. People, it's not finding Gabriel. Hey, it's not finding Gab. Hey, definitely not Gab Jesus at centre half. I don't know about all of that, people. But anyways, yeah. I don't know why, but Gabriel's here. I don't know why. It's not got a picture of Gabriel to come up here, but Gabriel will be on the left-hand side. Do you know what? I'm going to give the nod to Holding, to be fair with you. It really should be David Luiz, I guess, but I'm going to go with Holding and Gabriel. Now, Gabriel's been done dirty in that regards. I tried, my guy. I don't know why it's not coming up. It's spoiling the thing, but Gabriel will get the look in, man. Man said try Dos Santos. If you're running any banter, you're coming out of this live chat, my guy, but let's see. Oh, come on, man. What? They need to update their system, man. Now you got Gabriel Batista. You're not even kicking ball again, but you ain't got Gabriel. But yeah, with the exception, people, you can use your common sense. Gabriel, Holding, Cedric, Leno, and Kieran Tierney would be my defensive, would be my sort of guys. I picked, this should be the camp sort of role. Broski, what's this about? What's this about? I ain't listening to Curtis again, because he said this is the TIG. This ain't looking like the TIG. I want a 4-2-3-1, but with a cam. Like, is it so hard? Not that. And therefore not that. In fact, to be fair, that's cool. Cam, I mean, midfield first and foremost. There's no Partey. I think Gabriel should get the look in. I think I'll go with Gabriel. I see what you're saying. I think Marie will partner Holding. I don't think this is the game for Gabriel. Marie. I think the last time Marie played against City, you saw his lack of pace when he came off injured. I don't think I rate Marie. I think he'll hold his own, but I don't think this is the game for Pablo Marie personally. So yeah, that's my back five. Once again, I'm going against Manchester City. I'm going with Leno, Cedric, Kieran Tierney, Gabriel. Midfield's a tricky one, but I think this guy picks himself. I know people will talk about resting and whatnot, but he's given me 2 good games on the spin. I have to run with him. You know what, Xhaka, you was a bit dodgy in the last game, but I mean, it's not like we can do anything else. So it's going to have to be those two. In the cam sort of role, people, I think SmithRowe is looking a bit tired, so I'm going to go with Odegaard. You know, Odegaard's going to get the look in. And this is why we brought you, for creativity in these big games. You played all right. You didn't set the world alight against Benfica, but you didn't play poorly. So go and show me something. The front three is probably where a lot of people got different things to say and things like that. It's a political one. But I think personally, I'm going to go with, let me see something first. Let me not go with what I want to go with first. Let me see something first, people. Let me see something first. Let me see something first. I don't know why it's not got Aubameyang's picture, but it is what it is. I'm tempted to go with this, people. You know, Pepe returned to the left. Aubameyang, Pepe on the right hand side. I know he's been finding form on the left, but Pepe on the right, Aubameyang on the left, just to kind of deter Kyle Walker or Cancelo. You know, Kyle Walker remembers that FA Cup, you know, from going forward. There's a bit of that. And Lacazette obviously gives us a bit of hold-up play and things like that. That might encourage Manchester City's centre-halves to play a higher line because they ain't got the pace on him. But that's why I've gone with Pepe and Martinelli. Now, where there's a problem, people, is because, for one, you know, I think we've got good problems in these positions. Bro, this thing needs to start rating us, man. What the hell, bro? How have you not got Saka? This is dead, people. Wan-Bissaka does not play for my team. This is dead. But yeah, people, I wanted to go with Saka here and Martinelli and Lacazette. So Saka, Martinelli, and Lacazette. But equally, I think the second half against Benfica kind of showed us a glimpse to what we could see. You could go Martinelli. You could go obviously it's not going to find Saka, is it? It's not going to find Bukayo Saka no matter how hard I try. But, you know, you could go Pepe, Martinelli up front, Pepe, and then Saka would obviously take up this role, people, in which obviously Lacazette ain't played in a while. I don't really see a justified reason for him not to start this game. But ironically, Martinelli, Pepe, Saka, in terms of longevity, that could probably be a front three for us in the future, maybe, with Pepe being 25, turning 26, Saka only being 20, Martinelli obviously a young one as well. So I am tempted to go with that, people. I'm actually tempted to move Pepe over there, put Martinelli left wing, Martinelli left wing, Pepe right wing, and go with Lacazette through the middle, people. So I'm a bit undecided. I must admit, I want to play Lacazette, but the more I see Martinelli's face there, I'm getting gassed, people. I'm getting gassed. You know what? I might do a thing like this, you know. I might have to do a thing like this where you've got Lacazette, you've got Pepe. In fact, Pepe, move over there for me, please. Move over there for me, Pepe. Martinelli, come in for me. If it all depends on Tierney's fitness, really, but then I'll probably make Saka do a job for me at left back and let his little connection with Martinelli reign supreme up there. Obviously, you can't see it here, but Gabriel would be our centre half. So that's probably going to be my front three, you know. That's probably going to be my front three. The only question mark is leaving Saka out. In fact, I would probably drop out Saka for Martinelli for Saka at a push, just because I want Pepe to start. And I think you can't afford to drop Saka down, and especially because of what Saka gives you defensively as well. It's a difficult one. I don't think there's one straightforward answer, really and truly. I think the only definite call I can make in relation to the front four positions, people, would be Odegaard ahead of Smith-Rowe, because evidently he looks tired and he looked like he picked up a little knock. So we're going to have to see what happens firmly in that regards, people. Sorry, people. I'm just making a humble timestamp. So that's it for me, people. What are you guys saying? That's the Man City preview sort of done, man. I think you're exaggerating a bit with Smith-Rowe being very bad, but yeah, man. I wouldn't say he's been holding us afloat all season because he's been in woeful form himself, but he has um found a thingy of it, found a role for himself. Give Saka a rest. I don't think we can really. Because we need to try and perform, and he's one of our better players. And I think Arteta said it rightly. You know, it's all fun and games giving a Saka a rest, but you need to play your best player. Saka's at that point now. Yes, we over rely on him, but I hear rest, but we need to win football games, you know. And to be fair with you, I think people are exaggerating Saka's tiredness to a degree, personally. And if he's fit, he's ready to go. At the end of the day, we need to play our best players. You know, it's all about the rehab in the week. He's probably going to have a recovery session now, and then he moves forward, man. To be fair with you, I don't really care about players' individual confidence. I mean, of course, I want their confidence to be well, but whether Pepe, Saka, Martinelli, Lacazette misses out, of course, I care about their confidence, but I don't really care. We're here for the collective goal of the team. I'm not here for people's feelings now, you know. If the best team plays and one man has to miss out, even though I don't think you can with Saka, then so be it. So be it. I hear you, Ben. Burnout's defo a problem. It's defo a problem, but I think people make a lot out of it. I defo think Smith-Rowe needs a break. He looks tired. Saka looked knackered in the second half, but I think he's ready to go, man. I think he's ready to go, and we need to win, man. We need to play players that it needs to do what we need to do, man. I don't think that's the case, Spencer, but fair play. That's the front three I would have chosen. I think the only really cool I could say that I can see universally with everybody is that Pepe starts. I think Martinelli deserves minutes. I don't think Lacazette can be dropped. Should have done that, Spencer, in it. Should we try again? Should we try again? Spencer, I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna hold you accountable if it don't bang, somebody's got to answer. Let's see. Dead, dead. You sold dreams. You sold dreams. It didn't come up. But yeah, I think the only one we can all agree with is Pepe starts. I think Marie will partner holding. I back Marie, but I don't think Marie is the best centre half for this game purely because of his lack of pace. He reads the game well, but he will be put in perceptions, man. It'd be put in situations where he will struggle. I don't think Pepe should be it. I mean, Marie should be it. I don't think we'll see a new centre half partnership of Gabriel Marie tried in a game like this. Although you never know with Arteta because he said Runnison lacks experience. You went and threw him in against the most potent finishers in the league. So I don't know. Mana said, would you be happy with a draw? Obviously, generally, a draw doesn't do anything for us as a football club. It doesn't help us at all. But let's be real. We'll take a draw. I'll take a humble draw against Man City. You know, we live to fight another day. I think Saka is undroppable. I think if Saka is evidently carrying, not fair play, but if he's been past fit, we need to roll with him, man. We need to roll with him, man. And like you said, Joel, it's all that matters. The result. Saka gives us more of a chance, man. To be fair with you, and to be fair, you know, I hear what people are saying about resting Saka, but what are we resting him for, really and truly? Are we? As much as I don't think we're getting top four, our league, you know, it's not a foregone conclusion that we can't do anything in the league, really and truly. And if I'm honest with you, you know, Saka or no Saka, we probably should have got a result against Benfica. So I'm playing my best player. You know, I'm playing my best player. I hear everything, but I'm playing my best player. I think Smith-Rowe and Saka have been our best players. Smith-Rowe, I think he's looking evidently knackered, so he has to come out. I think we'd lose too much with Smith-Rowe and Saka being dropped out, really. And especially because I don't personally think Martinelli's going to start. I want him to start, but I don't think he would. So you're losing all that youthful energy. I would probably not play Aubameyang at a push. Not that he needs rest, because he's been missing for a while. Do you get it? So we'll have to see what happens, man. We'll have to see what happens, man. Humble draw. I'm on that, man. We need, bro. I don't know what it is with Arsenal in the FA Cup, but whatever demons we awake, you know, I don't know if they're gonna be here, sort of thing, people. You can go free at the back with Marie. You know that is the option. You know that is the option. So we'll have to see. We'll really have to see, people. Should we see what Mikel Arteta has had to say in relation to anything, people? I think he's had something to say about Bukayo Saka. Let's see what's said here, people. Arteta on the game, Aubameyang and Saka's influence. Arteta admitted to feeling frustrated after witnessing his side draw in the Europa League, yada, yada, yada. You know, he said it's a frustrating game. On Aubameyang's performance, he said these things happen. He was on the end of the biggest chances we had tonight. He was a real threat, and we played against this team with a high line. They propose all the time, and he was unlucky, of course, not to score 2 or 3 tonight, because in normal circumstances that would be the case. I'm not too sure. He didn't put his chances away, you know. There was one effort he dragged wide, which I think you could have scored. We all remember the tapping where Bellerin set him. It should have went home. In relation to Saka, he has said, I think he's in a great moment. He's full of confidence. He's been really important in recent results. His form is probably the highest it's been since I've been here, and he's been really consistent. He needs to keep going, and we need to be wise with him, because at the moment he's a big part of the team, of course. On finding a balance for Saka, given his importance at such a young age. And I think people overdo it with the youth, because one minute they look at Foden and say, you're not playing enough. Then they say players are overplaying. As long as they're being managed right, it's cool. A lot of people see them play all these games and think, oh, they need a rest and things like that. It's about how we manage him in the week. If we're managing Saka right, of course, there comes a time where he needs a rest. But if you're managing him correctly in his rehabilitation and whatnot, he's all ready to go. And he's young. He's ready to, he's ready to get better and things and recover quicker. But it is true, though. We have, like Arteta said, I think we have to protect him and keep the extractions where they should be. But I'm not going to put a break on his development or how much he can do week in, week out. We have to support him and give him the best possible advice all the time and manage his minutes so he can maintain this level. You know, he doesn't, it's not dropped off. So play him. It's as simple as that. On the difficulty of managing his minutes, of course, we've over-relied on him. But he said it's difficult at the moment because he's been a real threat. He's involved in a lot of goals all the time, and his consistent performances make him a starter, obviously. So it's a fine balance. But at the same time, he's 19 and we have to protect him, which is facts. He will show his youth. He will get burnt out at a stage if we keep it up. But I think he's fine right now. You know, he's fine. And again, for me, I think putting Saka on the bench, it gives us problems. He does need a rest. We can't over-rely on him. And next season, you probably want to see less of an importance on Saka. But the man's earned his shirt. It's not like he's just got there overnight. He has earned his shirt. And to be fair with you, we're not screaming Gabriel needs a rest. This guy needs a rest. Cedric needs a rest and stuff. It's always with these young players. I get it. But at the same time, sometimes resting can be a hindrance. So we'll have to see what happens, man. We'll have to see what happens, man. Big up everybody locked in, man. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Callum Chambers back barely been in the team, back in for Manchester City, 3 at the back. I'm not buying that, my guy. Dead that. But we might get destroyed. But, I want it to be a thing where we see death in the eyes and we go out and meet it. When you're curled up I always say, when you're curled up in a corner, when you're backed into a corner, you either curl into a ball, you fight back. I want to see fighting back. I want to see if we are to lose that City have had to take 3 points over our dead bodies, which generally this season has not been the case, man. Cesar said, bro, if you were to have 2 minutes with the players before kickoff, what would be your motivational speech? I'm not too sure. I don't think I know how to do a motivational speech. If I was going into the City game, I'll just say, listen, you know what? You've lost 9 or 10 games against these boys. Go and put it right. Are you not tired of being disgraced? Are you not tired of match of the day talking about you lot negatively? Are you not tired of coming into these situations and choking? Go out there and if they are to win, let them take it over your dead bodies, Simple as that. There's nothing more to say other than that. Football's a simple game. Arteta's got Pep's number. Hope so. Not based on the last game. To be fair, in the last game, I think we did all right, apart from them stupid mistakes. So who knows, man? Who really knows? This is it. Go out and meet it, bro. Vikings thing. If you're going to Valhalla, you're going to Valhalla, innit? Like, don't be on this scared thing. It's a simple thing. I think you're right, though. Willian will probably start, and Willian, if that, will be the first sub, and things like that, which would put us at problems, people. Obviously, the computer restarting shagged me and done me dirty, people. But I want to quickly go over the Benfica game really and truly with you guys, people. Yo, we are dog. Funny boy people, what that? But anyways, yeah. F1, you might have to hold a little time out for them funny boy things. But anyways, Going back briefly over Benfica, there isn't too much to speak about from a tactical point of view, but it jars me. It jars me, people, that we struggle to break down low blocks, teams that have been coached, teams that can defend well. And we struggled again. You know, you have to give credit. You have to give credit to Benfica because you saw them play free at the back. You know, I'm trying to exaggerate the three at the back a bit for you guys. You know, you saw Jan Vertonghen really, you know, if their wing back was there, but Jan Vertonghen was occupying this space. And you saw how many times he went far and clamped up Saka and stuff like that. And that's the only thing I'm scared about with Saka, really. You know, because Saka's now a marked man and he's getting kicked and kicks. I think if Saka is to get a problem, it's because of these kicks. Of course, early in the season, he had a thigh strain or something like that, but it's these kicks. Saka's a marked man, and Vertonghen was doing that. And this is why I wish Bellerin went forward a bit, because sometimes when Saka comes short and you know he's going to foul him, sometimes Saka was just getting that ball off to a teammate. You know, if you get that to Ceballos, and it's not as easy as this, but if you're on your bike already, you know the thing. The ball comes in similar to like the ball you put for Aubameyang, and it comes down to your end product. And can you perfect that sort of thing? It's as simple as that, really and truly. And I think where Bellerin, I think defensively, Saka and Bellerin have a good partnership. I think they've got a good relationship. And clearly, at times, Bellerin is told to come inside, but I think he's not helping us at fullback, because I need you to get on the outside. He doesn't do that enough. And when he does, and there's a chance to put in a ball or play it in a dangerous area, he goes backwards like you saw. Or too often than not, Bellerin's more concerned with trying to play like Cancelo or something. He's too narrow. And when Saka wants to come narrow anyways to get onto his left foot, you know, it's a problem. You know, you don't, you know, probably better. Like, let's just say here now, Saka's got the ball. He's running at his man. You know, and there's a couple players. You know, just from you, if Bellerin is smart enough and he makes that overlapping run, just from you making that run, you have to be, you know, he has to follow you. And if he doesn't follow you, the ball could be played in. But just from he following you, Saka's got a bit of space, which he might be able to find a next man or do something. And I don't think we're presented with that problem. You know, I don't mind that he likes coming inside. I'm a Sunday League fullback sort of thing. But it's a madness. What has my man said? See, big up all the Vikings watchers. DG got me dying. Sometimes Valhalla awaits. I'll die on my sword, bro, for 3 points. Bro, Valhalla, listen, if you want to go to the Great Hall, you got to do your job, innit? And that's what I want to see. I know Saka, Tierney, Gabriel, Martinelli, them man there got their swords in their hands and willing to die on their swords, sort of thing. The others, I don't know if they're going to be up for this. But yeah, man, I'm going off topic really, because I didn't plan to speak about Bellerin, but you have to credit Benfica, because I felt they played their little back five, you know, probably more so. In fact, let's do this, because it's start again. You know, they had their back three in Otamendi, the other lad who tried to switch at SmithRowe, and Vertonghen. You know, you probably saw more of a wing back sort of role, half role here. You know, you had a 5 in midfield essentially. You know, you had Weigl, you had PZ, you had the other Donny, whoever it was, I cannot even remember. Let me make these a bit closer and exaggerated. Obviously, on the other hand side, you had that. And then you had Darwin Núñez, and I felt they did well, man. They limited the space. Obviously, this system defensively, it becomes a back five. You've got the 3 midfielders, you know, remaining pending and whatnot, and frustrating. And yet again, and then, you know, you've got the other, you know, keeping quite narrow, to be fair with you. Let's exaggerate that a bit, because it is more of a narrow one. Solid unit to break down. This is Benfica, if any of you don't understand what I'm doing. And then obviously, let's get you a little bit to get a bit closer to exaggerate this. Centre halves, get a bit closer, exaggerate that. Fullbacks, let's get a bit closer. And then you've got the centre halves. And we couldn't break down this unit. You know, the first mistake I would say is games like this for Aubameyang. Listen, they're playing against 3 centre half. There was many times the ball was played over the top from Leno, and he was caught 1v1 with Otamendi and things like that. And he's got the pace, but not necessarily the strength. Maybe if that's Lacazette and that's Aubameyang on the flanks, you know, that's an area we can exploit, sort of thing. But that is not Lacazette. That's irrelevant. Like you could see, they got 3 at the back. Aubameyang's hold-up play isn't elite level. It's not as bad as people make out, but it's not elite level. So he's going to struggle. So instantly, he's already out the game. So what did you see? He's peeling on the left-hand side. You know, you obviously had my man SmithRowe out there, who naturally wants to become narrow. That might have been harming us, because SmithRowe was getting in patches, but he's not going to be an out-and-out winger. You saw him get down the flanks and things like that. But his gameplay is more narrow. Cedric provides the width, but he's going to check back in on his favoured right-hand side 9 times out of 10. Even when he gets into the final third, he's not whipping it with his left foot. He's checking back in. So maybe the invertedness on that side was going against us. But as you could see, you know, in reality, let's just keep Aubameyang there. He was peeling out to the left. You obviously had SmithRowe, who's quite narrow. You had Cedric. You know, you had Bellerin, who had to provide the width, but was even more narrow. But let's leave him out there. You have our centre halves, obviously Luiz and Gabriel. I think Gabriel had a good game, and they saw plenty of the ball. Ceballos, who also had a good game, saw plenty of the ball. You had him and Xhaka in there. You obviously had Odegaard in the hole. You know, Bukayo Saka was evidently there. We spoke about the lack of overlap as well. So just focusing on these front players for a sec, people. Like you can see, we can't break them down. I think you know, Benfica did their job. They were hard to break down. They were tough. You know, we couldn't break them down. You know, they limited us from being. It's all in front. When we're playing football, it was all in front, people. You know. We rarely had any clear-cut chances. It's sideways, and then backwards, and then backwards, and then backwards, and then backwards. And what smacks it, we're passing to people 5 yards next to us. So when you've got no movement, when you've got people not finding them, because when I look at Odegaard, he was getting into these half spaces quite a lot and calling for it, and people didn't have either the precision or the confidence to play those passes. This is where we struggled, people. I wanted to see us stretch that team a bit, really and truly. Even Tierney in his little cameo, you know, you saw him didn't do much, didn't have a lot of time, but just get down that flank a bit more. We need, when you've got a well-engined unit like this, it's difficult to break down. You know, we had 10 offsides, we had 3 shots on target, 3 shots, 1 on target. In the first half. So it's the obvious, you know, we're not creating, we're not shooting, we're not being galvanized. Ultimately, we can't break down this team. And for me, I said it, you know, the more you don't take the lead against a team that's playing free at the back, you're in problems, people, because suddenly, let's just say exaggerated, you smash that ball into the back of the net. That team has a decision to make. You know, it's going to have to go from being a back 5. You know, you're going to have to say, get your fullbacks, you lot need to go further. You know, centre halves, you lot are going to need to provide more width as well and spread the game. Centre defense strikers, get further up the field, you know, force the Arsenal ones backwards. We don't need you here, you know, we don't need you lot defending. Get further up there. Midfield, can someone go into more of a 10 and our midfield be more expansive? What do you see here though, people? Immediately, what do you see? Because if you play free at the back, primarily the job is to be spot on defensively. It's not to concede. So the problem is when you concede, what happens? You lot can see it already. There's space now. Let's just say they're chasing the game. It's Arsenal got an away goal. We need to get something. Let's chase the game. You know, our you know, big test on the free at the back is the wing backs. You know, when to be a defender, when to be an attacker. Let's just say they're caught chasing the game, people. You know, let's just say they're caught. Let's exaggerate it. They're caught chasing the game. They're committing bodies forward. You know, you can see how there's gaps that can be exploited. You know, all it takes with, let's just say we go again with that long ball to Leno. Let's just say that centre midfield, that centre half, sorry, switched off. A long ball from Leno, man, are in. We need to switch. We need to be switched on in that regards, people. Football's a simple game, man. Bro, you're tweaking SmithRowe much better than Odegaard. I respect your opinion, but definitely not. There was no way in hell that SmithRowe played better than Odegaard yesterday, and it weren't a real memorable game from anyone, man. And to be fair, we got in behind 4 times. Oba just didn't finish. We didn't get in behind enough. 4 times isn't good enough. You know, 4 times for the amount of money we spent on our defense, for the amount of goals we've been scoring generally of recent, it's not good enough. You know, you should be able to do that. I disagree, Star. I respect your opinion. I don't feel we got in behind enough. And when we did try, we was offside, which tells me once again that Benfica are holding their shape well, and we're not timing our run, or players are delaying making that pass. Personally, I don't know about coach. Maybe one day, man. You know, even more. Sometimes you just need natural out there. I'm not too sure. Lacazette scores at least one of those Aubameyang chances. Aubameyang's got more goals than him. And let's be real, as much as I like Lacazette, let's not sit here and, not saying you are, but I think people do this thing where they act like Lacazette ain't, not that I'm getting at him, but he's missed clangers as well. Come on, man. It ain't making sense. It really isn't. You know, let's be a bit sensible, man. Sorry, people. Yeah, man, that's it really, and I hope we learned our lessons, because if I share the screen again, people, just to make the point about Benfica again, where is it? You know, one thing I've got hope for, that's City. One thing I've got hope for is, you know, I don't think, you know, even if Benfica play at 3 at the back, they're not on paper, they're going out of the tie. If there's no goals in the second leg, we're through. So surely they either have to go to a 4 or they have to play a bit more of an expansive 3. Like, can it be a thing where they're doing the ball playing back 3 thing sort of thing, where they say, Vertonghen, you stay as wide as you can, fullbacks up there, fullbacks up there, Otamendi and the other centre half. Obviously, let me put a goalie there because it looks a bit better. Are they going to do a thing like that? Tell their midfield to stay further up the field. If they are going to play a 5 at the back because of what it gives them, they're going to need to play it in a more attacking standard. Now, they can't attack from the moment, from the first whistle. They need to time it. But I do think their game plan is going to be completely different in the next leg. And obviously, if there's more gaps here, naturally, if you're further up the field, they need to attack. I back them to score, but I back us to score. There's gaps here, Jan Vertonghen was just getting tight to Saka because he knows if Saka spins him, it's long. If there's time and space for Saka to do that, and in this half space, it's long. And in an ideal world, Bellerin would be overlapping and presenting issues to the ex-Spurs, man. But we'll have to see, man. Really have to see what happens in that regard. In relation to the timestamp, that is 55. Oh, free. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Make sure there will be a watch along. You're paying attention. There will be a watch along on Sunday. Check out the Deluded podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple, Google, and the rest of it. How would it have, though? Because I'm not excusing Aubameyang for missing. I just don't like scapegoating. He should have missed. I mean, he shouldn't have missed. He should have scored. But away from that, what chances did we create? Because Saka scored, but Saka missed an easy chance. And we barely created. Like I said, 3 shots on target in the first half. So where is the goal coming from if Aubameyang doesn't have that opportunity? Aubameyang should score, but I don't really get that. And great win? A great win for me is scoring 3 or 4. Where's that 3 or 4 going yesterday? We can't just blame one man. I'm not excusing Aubameyang, but come on, man. Disagree. But fair play, it's the beauty of opinions, man. It's the beauty of opinions. Emma said, DG, after so many years playing for Arsenal, how doesn't Hector Carlos didn't make growth in the role that he's getting paid for? Bro, I don't know, man. I wish I had an answer. I don't know, my guy. I wish I had an answer because I want to know. What? I'm starting to think that we paid over the price for Odegaard, just like Pepe, both overrated. To be fair with you, he's only played 2 minutes, really and truly, and he's not a permanent player. I think that one's a bit of an emotional one there, man. And I think it's pretty telling that, Aubameyang and Lacazette have near enough the same goals, in which Aubameyang's had time to fall off and has eclipsed him. And I think it speaks volumes of the golfing class, with all due respect, because one's having a season of his life, one's having a woeful season, and the numbers aren't really lying. I do think this is where people need to understand, and like you're saying, it's a squad game, man. Sometimes there's a need for Laka, sometimes there's a need for Oba, sometimes they need a bit of the same. I do think Lacazette, one thing Lacazette has had is sometimes he hasn't necessarily scored or assisted, but he's had a better game than when he has scored or assisted. I think he was good against City in that defeat in the League Cup. I think he was superb against Man United, working very hard away from home. There's been a couple of games like that, to be fair, man. Bro, hopefully, man. Hopefully. Please stop spamming, Greg. Everybody can see you chatting shit. We've answered that. Please stop spamming, Greg. It's not going to get you your thing seen any thingies. I hear you, but it was a tight game. We needed to take chances we created. And we didn't take the small chances we got. It's law of averages. You create more, you have more shots, you're more likely to score. I don't think we did that enough. I wouldn't say it was a tight game. I think credit to Benfica's team game plan, but I think we flattered them. We flattered them a lot, much like when we've lost in the league or dropped points in the league. I really think we flattered them. So I disagree, but fair play, man. And like Nyron has said, we just got onto the reverse fixture. It is what it is. It is what it is. Define the sleeping giant. If the owner's left and the owner came who wants to be serious about this club, then Arsenal are a sleeping giant. But that could be said for bare people. You could say that about Arsenal, about Spurs, about probably even Newcastle. All the teams that historically have had a loyal fan base. If they just got owners who are prepared to comprehend money, football's a losing business, and they had owners that wanted to make them challenge for the league, then that's bare people, It is what it is in that regards. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. A boomerang. Hopefully he does score a hat trick, my guy. Hopefully he does score a hat trick, man. Make sure you're smashing the like button, people. It's always appreciative each and every time. Get the questions in as well. It's a slow day in terms of news. There actually isn't effort. There's effort to talk about from an Arsenal perspective. I'll be real, people. There isn't anything to mention or speak on. You know, I've seen Tony Adams isn't happy with the signing of Odegaard and wasn't happy with bringing in a couple of names, but there isn't anything there. Well, 106 likes. Can we get that to 110, people? I know there was a couple dislikes. I don't know why, but before I even spoke, but fair play. I'm good, man. Thanks for asking. Everybody asks about Arsenal and all these things. No one asks how DG is doing, so I appreciate that. I'm good, my guy, man. Facts, bro. I'm sorry, but I'm not happy to sit here and say we've created 4 chances. We've had worse players in this team and created a bunch of chances. You know, teams that don't have the resources or brought in players for the influx have more chances. 4 chances isn't good enough. Right? Four chances, not unless you got Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, Ronaldo, it's not good enough. You know, finishing is one thing, but creating, you know, I'm of the belief the more chances you spam, the more chances you're gonna take. You know, we've been doing this under Unai Emery. We've been sitting there and saying we've got less chances, but we scored goals. We're clinical. That's dead, man. That's dead. Man, dead. But oh, do you see what it is? Man City, you lot got the depth, really and truly. You know, even Manchester City's C team, there's enough problems to cause us at Arsenal. I don't get twisted. By all means, play your C and D team. You know, play Liam Delap and all of these. They'll still present us problems, but play these guys, man. I think, and even Emre's job would have been made easier if he was backed properly. But I need to see some more to really be convinced in Arteta. I like him. I support him, but I wouldn't say I'm against him. Like I'm fully Arteta out or I'm fully Arteta in. It's a case by case basis. I don't think he deserves to be given a new deal right now. I have seen obviously FA Cup, young players, little bits and pieces that Arsenal could be returned to where I want. Equally, man management, not using certain players, stubbornness to crosses, and sometimes you're just reacting late to subs. There's reasons for me to be concerned. So we're at this moment, really and truly, where you are, and on top of that, you've obviously got the board and the people above him, man. Bro, I miss the days, bro. Do you remember that, bro? I'll give anything to go back to the days Arsenal used to get mocked for top 4, and we used to just have 11 creative men, and we create bare chances. I miss them days, man. Bro, Shy Guy, there's some weird youths, man. There's some weird youths. I do think we need a player like Bruno Fernandes. I think every team does. Fundamentally, Bruno Fernandes scores goals. There's not too many midfielders putting up good numbers. Like off the top of my head, I know there's other men, but Gundogan, Bernardo, who's putting up numbers like that? There's not too many goal-scoring midfielders widespread. Not too many goals created widespread like that. So I would say Bernardo Silva. I got a lot of love for Bernardo Silva. I think to take his game up to the next level, I think he needs to have performances that correlate with him not necessarily scoring or assisting, but still playing amazing. I do think he forces passes at times. I do think with his ability and his intelligence, he can learn to do that less and dictate the game a bit more in that regards, man. I really rate Bruno Fernandes, man. Bro, to be fair, we spam it, but it all depends what you're doing. There's no point crossing it, putting it 6 foot in the air if you ain't got 6 foot players. It ain't really making sense, man, in my opinion. You know, they used to get at Wenger for top 4, you know. I'll give everything to go back to them days, man. I hope he isn't playing for a draw, but let's be real. A draw against Man City isn't the worst of results. You know, the Leicester game is where I really want to see a win, if I'm completely honest, man. Who do you think is our strongest front 4 at the moment? It's a tricky one because I think that's the one benefit as an Arsenal fan where I'm kind of happy in that. Apart from Willian, and I don't know what's going on with Reece Nelson, I'm kind of cool, you know. It's an Odegaard or SmithRowe. Obviously, SmithRowe can be moved to the left, as can Aubameyang. You know, you got Martinelli, who should be starting, not really getting in the team. Pepe's found his little form. Lacazette gives you some strength through the middle. You know, realistically, the other time, you know, before last game, when Aubameyang played up front, he got a hat trick. So I'm happy. If you're asking me, if you put a gun to my head and I feel to name one, I just feel at this moment in time, personally, Saka is the only one I don't feel can be interchangeable. Everyone's got strengths. I think Saka is the one really that you can't really change. I think our best front four has to have some variation of Saka. For me personally, I think right now it's Lacazette through the middle, SmithRowe, Lacazette up front, SmithRowe through the 10, Saka on the right, Pepe on the left. That's me personally. But it is what it is. I do think the next step in SmithRowe's game is to be a bit more bravado. Like even when he got sent off against Newcastle and when that was a penalty against him yesterday, it's not that you can beat up the ref or you can change anything. I want to see a bit more heart. He looks a bit scared and like he's accepting it and things like that, man. We'll just have to wait and see, man. Trust. Has Arteta finished third? You know, Arteta's had a full season. The only luxury I want to see, the only thing I want to see, the one thing I think will save Arteta in my book again, and the one thing that will probably make me say I don't really believe in him is if I can't see by May a proper way of playing, a proper DNA and what my team's about. That's the one luxury, you know. Ideally, I want top four. That's anything. If you don't get top four, it's a failure. That's our plan. You know, top four is the first one. If you can get top four, top six, we live to fight another day. Then after that, if you can improve on our league position last year, cool. The minimum I need to see is that there's a way of playing, because if there's no way of playing, if you finished in a similar position or worse than last season in your first full year, because as much as the players have been to fault, Arteta's been here for a full year now. FA Cup, which could have been a ticket to Europa, we went out of that. Europa, if we go out on that, I don't think there's a leg to stand on. But I don't think Arteta's future is going to be affected too much, regardless of where he finishes personally, man. And this is it. We need problems throughout the team. Look at Pep. You know, is it Gundogan? Is it Sterling? Is it this guy? Is it that guy? If you want to be the guy, you put in a performance. You know, all of what once upon a time, man are saying John Stones is done at it, he's never getting a look in, boom, 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 boom. Now look what he's doing when he's got a look in. Diaz, people were saying they shouldn't have bought him, he's clumsy, this, that, and the third. Look what he's on. You can't forget about Laporte. They've got depth, you know, Cancelo or Walker. There's not too much of a drop-off. You know, it's crazy. We're linked with Brian Gill, certified. He's on loan at the moment, but certified, man. Certified. We need depth. Right now, Arsenal's problem is we don't have a certified 11, like a quality 11. But then after that, we need depth. And at moments like this, you need depth. This is why I remember some of you, not that we're getting our, but some of you were saying to me, oh, don't bring it. Not that they play the same position, but oh, we can't get our because we got SmithRowe. What's going on there? Look at the games we've got coming. Are you telling me there's not enough game time for everybody? You know, it don't make sense. It really don't. People don't understand football is a squad game. You need different options, injuries, games thick and fast, fatigue, all of these things. This is why I don't really have sympathy for Arsenal, because we know what we are. We're typically a team that's playing in Europe. We're typically a team that's playing in Europe. We're typically a team that's trying to challenge for all these trophies. So we know there's going to be a fixture pile up. So have I got sympathy? How many years have we said now? And since I've started YouTube, do we target Europa League or do we target the league? I haven't got much sympathy. Big up yourself, Jack, man. I see you, man. Always locked in. Rise up the likes, like Emma said, man. What have you said, Apollo? You think if we lose in the Europa League next week and don't get top four, you think we should look somewhere else? Well, probably that is something, you know, because that doesn't scream progress to me. And that's what I mean. If them things there happen and I don't see a way of playing, something that makes me go, all right, cool. You know, there's a clear way of what I want to do. I can see it. I can believe in it. I'm proper galvanized by it. Let's bring in some players and we go again. If I don't see that, then why would I want the manager to stay? If I don't believe in what you're doing, I can't see what you're doing. And, you know, you've not really had a certified sort of time in terms of the competitions. It's crazy because I do feel you can't just blame Arteta or blame the players or even blame the Kroenkes. I think there's a lot of cocktails, but let me not lie. As much as I feel these players are shit generally and can't get us to where we need to get to generally, I think there's only about 7 at a push. Has to fall with Arteta. He knew the role he was coming into, and I do think Arteta has engineered his own mistakes. There's been times where you've unnecessarily played Willian and Bellerin and these sort of things, man. I reckon Alaba could do a job in midfield, but would you want to spend your time at Arsenal or would you want to go to Madrid and these teams there he's linked with, man? Crazy, man. Big up everyone in the comments. I'm seeing some positive words. I agree, my bro. The best Arsenal channel by far. You, Curtis, and Turkish next up. G. Big up Curtis. Curtis Shaw, if you don't know about him. And obviously, big up Turkish as well, who I know you lot probably know. Shout out to the both of them, man. Need to get some videos going and them thing there. But yeah, man, I just keep working hard. And, you know, whether you lot rate me, don't rate me, think I talk sense, chat shit, it's all subjective, innit? I don't like to get too excited, man. All right, I said, thoughts on certain guys in this YouTube space who just push one narrative for views. You know, people are free to do what they want. I don't agree with agendas. You know, listen, if I don't like a player, I'll openly tell you that I don't like a player. And I'll tell you why I don't like him. But if he plays well, I'll give him his praise. And if he plays badly, he plays badly. It's like, obviously, we live in a day and age where you can get clicks and it's cool to hate. And, you know, we know the sort of social media clicks that do the rounds, man. It's crazy, man. But I don't know, man. All I can do is just do myself. Personally, I just act how I act off this screen. The same way I talk about ball here is the same way I talk about with my man them and people them. And then that's it, innit? I'm being myself. Because where these people go wrong, you know, you might get views, you might get, you know, accolades and finances and things. But if you're not shouting and talking nonsense and doing that exhausting stuff, man, I'm not listening to you. And you're only doing that because you know it drives engagement. So it's not really you, if that is true for these YouTubers. So that isn't you. I don't know about anyone else, but I always say when the dust settles and I'm going to bed, I've had my shower, I've creamed my skin, you know, I'm going to bed, you know, I'm looking in the mirror before I go into bed. I want to feel good about myself and feel good about I know what I'm doing, but that's it, man. Not as much as in relation to Missouri, I'm not as much as sold on him as I was a year or so ago, but I would take him. We could do a lot worse. Would you take Wenger back if Arteta gets sacked? I love Wenger, but nah, man. The only role I'd like to see Wenger in is something above the manager, but I don't know if that's the right thing. Someone that's so emotionally attached to Arsenal returning to the club while there's still wounds from both sides open, man. It's crazy. And this is it, bro. You know, you get viral, you get excited, man. You know, and I get it. You know, at the end of the day, I can't tell no one that. And if it pays your bills, what can I say in it? If it pays your bills and it makes you feel good about yourself, I can't take anything away from you. But me personally, like you said, it's about integrity. Really about integrity. That's why it's not just about just being with everyone on this YouTube space, just being with people who are sensible. Like I like ball chat. Man is saying, do you think people are too harsh on Ollie? That's for United fans to expect answer, really. I don't think he's levels for United, but I guess so. You know, I guess to a degree, but ultimately, I just don't think the tactics and all of these things in isolation, he does good things at times, but I just don't think he's the man for United, man. I wish I knew Elliot, man. He does whatever you say about Arsene Wenger. He ultimately died by his own high standards of this football club, or the principles that he set and took it to the next level. Undoubtedly deserves a statue, man. What have you said? I'm a City fan, but you're good at giving unbiased opinions and have good knowledge. Hence why I'm subscribed. Have a good day, man. Peace. Spencer, big up yourself. You know, don't forget to tell Pep Guardiola to allow us, my guy. You know, if you really love these opinions, go out and get us 3 points. Allow us, Arsenal fans. We ain't got no beef with you lot. But on a serious note, I appreciate that, Spencer, man. I really do. Thank you very much. And also Marshall, who's a Liverpool fan. I really appreciate you lot, man. Man said, DG, you're working hard, bro. Grab a Whopper. No Mackies, my guy. To be fair with you, I actually fried a homemade burger, so I don't think it's a burger thing today, but maybe in relation to the match, junk food on a Sunday, my nan would not be happy. So, mate, all right, tomorrow we'll get something. I love Gravenbeck. Very young, will show his naiveties, but I think we need him, man. Big up yourself, Jay, for that super chat as well, man. Bro, F1, stop them funny boy things or you're going to get blocked, man. Come on now. What's your FM save saying? Bro, my FM save is not like Arsenal in real life, you know. We're gone. I should open up FM, really. I'm cool now. I've been doing some mad hustling. Well, I've got cool. Do you not want to know my team? What's my starting 11? What's his face in goal? The Leeds keeper, Millier in goal. Left back is a choice between Bukayo Saka, Jamal Lewis, and Kieran Tierney. But typically, I go with Jamal Lewis. I think he's earned his spot. So I go with, Millier, Jamal Lewis, Torres of Valencia, and Eric Garcia are my centre halves. I've got a regen that's come through and broke through my academy at right back, but if it's not him, it's Maitland-Niles. Central midfield, that's a 3 in midfield. Al Washer, Boz Lion, Thomas Partey, people. And I've got the young Gavi from Barcelona rotating, and SmithRowe still a part of the side. On either flanks, you've got Isaac through the middle. You've got Isaac through the middle. You've got Asu Fati on the left, and I've got Adeyemi on the right. I also have Kulusevski in my team as well. And Reece Nelson's gone on loan to Bournemouth. I've got Yunus Musa. We're all right. I've won the Champions League. It's been 4 seasons. I ain't won the Prem yet, but we're very close. We're a point ahead of United. We're doing well. I also been doing a madness in terms of free transfers. Like I got Yari Vestashin on loan. I mean, for free. Sold him after 2 years on loan. Never playing for Arsenal for 12 mil. I got Jamal Musiala for free. I've done a bit of business. I got Tonali for free and he wants to leave. I've said you're allowed to leave. I played Joe Willock ahead of him now. If you're not committed to the club, you can F off. I can't lie, I had a clang of people. I bought Ben Godfrey for 50 million and then sold him for 55 and got out of that. But yeah, man. Football Manager's been going good still. No spamming, man. Is there a clause in Williams' contract that he has to play every match? I think so. I think there's even more financial sanctions if he's not involved in the game, man. I wish I could convince them. I wish I could. I'm going for Kylian Mbappe next summer or Phil Foden or something like that, man. 4 years and you haven't won Premier League. Was you getting top 4? Yes, I was getting top 4. And like my favorite granddad, Arsene Wenger, non-related granddad, people, you've got to remember there's too much spending. I'm going against Liverpool at a second, people. Liverpool bought Cristiano Ronaldo. They had Martinez of Inter Milan. They had João Felix. There's some problems in there. United are spending crazy. Everybody's spending crazy in the league, and I didn't want to do that, but I eventually had to. FM stream soon landing, man. Soon landing, man. Big up yourself, Jack. You've said if we don't win Europa League, he has to go, in my opinion. We are so boring and predictable. Wins feel like huge wins with how far we dropped our expectations. I can't lie, harsh but true, Jack. Big up yourself for that. Big up yourself for that, my guy. Love for the fiver, and it's harsh but true, man. I would love him to, you know. I imagine Willian gets paid. Yeah, I mean, if Willian gets paid for certain things he does, I'd love to see him, man. You should like Young. All right, fair play. I don't know, no clue what you're on about, my guy, but all right. Yo, you sold yourself a dream trying to get Cristiano Ronaldo down to Brighton, haven't you? Which FM is this? The latest one, man. What? You sound like you have experience in being a referee, 5-a-side, or any coaching badges. Coaching badges, I play 5-a-side. I damn well ain't no referee. I don't know about any of that one there, but fair play, my guy. But people, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to get out of here, man. There actually isn't many things to talk about. I've enjoyed the hour and 17 minutes, but all good things have to come to an end. Please make sure you get in the comments, people. Please make sure you've hit the like button. Love for the super chats. Obviously, we've previewed the game. We've spoken about the Benfica game. Probably won't be streaming tomorrow because there's nothing else to speak about. But if there is, I'll be there. Please enjoy your weekend and make sure you're back on Sunday, people. It's Arsenal versus Manchester City. I'll be back again, people. On that note, I'm out, man. Love for all the members. Love for the Twitch gang. Love for everybody who's tuned in. I always appreciate you guys. You know, for my English fans, I appreciate you lot taking the time to fit me in your day. Obviously, if you're in Australia, like live from Planet X, bro, it's stupid to clock them sides. If you're in America, again, it's early in the morning, but it's stupid to clock them sides. So I appreciate you lot, man. So yeah, man. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all well and safe. And yeah, man, thanks for you lot providing entertainment as well. I can't sit here and speak if you lot don't take me in and make sure you turn up, and also if you don't ask questions. So I appreciate you lot, man. It's a relationship of mutual exchange, people. Liverpool versus Everton watch along. I was considering it, but I don't know if Arsenal's is the Arsenal game too close? Because I will need a little bit of a rest. I can't lie to you lot, people. I've got a couple things to do on Sunday as well before we actually get on there. But yeah, man, hope you'll enjoy the rest of your day. You know, like Sia said, hit the like button as you leave. I'm out of here, man.